Hello and welcome to this edition of Trudy's 10 for older adults. We are working on grip strength today, so I've got 10 exercises for you that is going to improve that grip strength. So this is really important, not just practically for opening jars and things like that, although it is a good thing to be able to open jars all independently and not need to ask your neighbor or your friend to open one up for you. But it's also really good just in everyday life to keep those fingers working, keep that circulation really good through those fingers and hands. You know what it's like when it gets cold, and if you've got arthritis and things like that, then some of these exercises will help to improve that blood flow through those fingers and through those hands, as well as work those muscles and all those little ligaments and things that keep our fingers moving, and also coming up into the forearms. All right, so we've got 10 exercises that you can do sitting down at your table. Or if you're watching TV and it's an ad break, then you can do some of these exercises just sitting right there where you are in your lounge. So our first one is our forearm grip. So it's simply just gripping the opposite arm. All right, so just grip that opposite arm and you're going to squeeze and relax. Obviously don't squeeze too hard, or if you've got someone else nearby that can you can grip their forearm instead of yours. Or you can do it with a friend at the same time. You can grip each other's forearms if you're good friends with them. All right, so then go on to the other hand and you're just going to grip and squeeze and then relax. Squeeze and relax. And try and get all of those fingers working. So it's not just a few fingers, including that thumb as well. Squeeze and relax. All right, so do a few on each side. You might want to increase how long you do that hold for and that grip for each time. It could just be a 1 second grip and relax, or you might squeeze, 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 squeeze for a little longer, and then you can relax. All right, and so that is our forearm grip. The next one we move on to is our finger presses. So we're just going to have those fingers matching up against each other, and then this one you can do two ways. You can just press them in against each other, all 5 or all 10 fingers pressing against one another, and then relax. And again, you can just do a little squeeze and then relax, or you can do one at a time. Just press those thumbs, press those fingers, and just work your way through those fingers. All right, so just do a little press of each one, and you might want to press all of them together and then do one each, and then alternate that all together and then one each. All right, so make sure they're all working and they're all working equally, and then press again and relax. Press again and relax. And again, you can alternate through the one finger if you'd like to, or do all of those fingers together. Then we've got our clench and stretch. All right, so really tight fists, clench all those fingers together and then spread them out as far and wide as you can. Clench in and relax. Clench and stretch. So try and go as far as you can. Spread those fingers out, so not just all up together. Try and get them all out. Clench and stretch. So do 10 of those and right out. Clench, really tight fists, and out and out. 10 of those, and then you can move on to the hand clasp. So we're going to do, it's like you're shaking your own hand on this one. So we go that way, and just swapping over those hands and just doing a little squeeze each time you do it. All right, so we want to be sitting up tall in those chairs like we do with all of our exercises, and we're just going to be keeping those shoulders down. Make sure those shoulders don't lift as you start working those hands, and just alternating and squeeze, and keep that going. If you can do 10 or if you can do 20, see how you go. You might do a whole ad just on this exercise, and then you can move to a new exercise on the new ad if you are watching TV. That could be one way that you go about it, and they are the hand clasps. Now I'm going to start using some props. Rubber band, hopefully you've got a few of these, no doubt, around the house. So just wrap it around those fingers, and then this one is just spreading out and in. Out and in. So wrap the rubber band around all 5 fingers. And then just take those hands out as wide as you can and in. You can do it flat down on the table if that's a little easier. And then just go out as wide as you can, in, out, and in. Then you'll be able to go over to the other hand, wrap it around and go out. Now this one, you obviously will need to try a few different rubber bands to find the right resistance for you. So you might start with a looser band and just build up a little strength, and then you can just change that rubber band and do a tighter one each time. Or maybe you'll do each week, you'll do a different resistance on the rubber band. So see how you go and try a few of those. You might do 5 left, 5 right and alternate those. And then do that a couple more times, depending on how long the ad break is in your TV show. Or you can just do 5 of each, 10 of each, and alternate it that way. All right, they are our rubber band spread. That's our rubber band spread. Then we've got our finger pull apart. So this one, elbows can come up on the table. And we're just going to curl those fingers in together. Then lift the elbows, and we're just going to pull those fingers apart. All right, so we'll try to pull those arms in the opposite directions and then relax. So this one again, keep the shoulders down, make sure the shoulders don't come up, keep them down all the way, and then pull and relax. Swap it over. Have those fingers tucked in against each other, pull apart and relax. Swap it over, pull apart and relax. Swap it over. And keep on going with that one. Again, shoulders down all the time. And really keep those fingers strong and pulling hard. All right, they are our finger pull aparts. Then we've got our bird claws. So hands up, and then we're just going to bend the top parts of your fingers. All right, so you're just going to curve over those fingers, your metacarpals and metatarsals. And then never remember if it's the tarsals or the carpals on the toes or the fingers, but just those smaller bones that make up our fingers. So we're just going to bend them down into that claw position and then stretch back up. All right, claw, bend those fingers and stretch out again. Bend and stretch. Bend down and stretch. Give me a couple more. Bend, out, and up, bend, and last one for the bird claw, and relax. All right, you might need to just, if you're doing a few of these in a row, you might just need to loosen off those hands in between each one and give them a little break. Then we've got our little prayer push here. So hands all together, hands flat, elbows up to the side, shoulders down, and then just push those hands against one another. All right, so make sure that the hands are flat, and so it's the whole palm and all those fingers pushing against one another. And then if you want to rotate those hands down and point forward, keep pushing, and then rotate it back up and forward and up, just for a little variation, and then you can relax. All right, then we'll have another go. Push those hands in together, rotate forward, up, forward, and up, and we'll do one more rotation forward. Keep pushing all those fingers as well as the hands forward and up. Good job. That is our prayer push, and hopefully you felt that through the shoulders and the chest as well as those arms and those hands, because all of those muscles are working in together for our prayer push. All right, next we've got another little piece of apparatus, piece of equipment. So if you've got a newspaper or a magazine handy, or something else that is long and round like this, you can put an elastic band on it like I have done, but you don't need to. And this one we're going to do our roll-ups. So we're just going to roll that like we're rolling up the magazine. So we're just going to roll it forward. And we're going to go forward, maybe go for 10 times. Whether that's just 10 little rolls, or you can roll the whole magazine 10 times forward. Then we're going to roll it over, and then we're going to roll it backwards. All right. just a little variation. So this one is good for building all that forearm strength. So you're not gripping the newspaper. So don't hold that newspaper too tightly or whatever you're rolling. It's more just that movement of that rotation, and you might start to feel it in your forearms if you do it long enough. Turn it over and then we go forward. All right, so don't worry about squeezing the newspaper or holding it tightly or gripping it tightly. So this one isn't for the fingers, though it is good for your dexterity and good just to work that. So I'm already starting to feel that in my forearms. Hopefully you are too. All right, then we flip it over and let's go backwards for one last time. Hopefully you are feeling that through those forearms. And relax. So hopefully you're starting to feel that, yeah, along here, and that is where a lot of our grip strength comes from. All right, so it's actually these forearm muscles all through here that are doing a lot of the work when we are doing our grip work. All right, so it's good to work those muscles as well. So they are our roll-ups. Then our last one, if you've got a weight, a light weight, or if you've got a can of beans, or you've got a big jar of tomato sauce, or something like that, then that will help as well. You can use that instead of the weight. No dramas at all. Just find something. This is 1 kilo, but you can start with half a kilo or do a 1 kilo. Find what works for you. And we've just got the weight down on the table, and we're just curling that wrist up and down. So find the position that's right for you. It could be that you're doing it away from the table and you've just got the weight down on your leg, resting on your thigh. So wherever is comfortable, just have that wrist or that forearm supported on something, and that will help just take away the pressure on that wrist. So then you can just focus on the exercise. All right, so we're just going to curl that wrist up and down, up and down. Again, this is another one for the forearm in particular to work those muscles. All right, then you can do it the other side. Again, we want to keep this shoulder down. Now you might want to also turn over, and then you can bend the wrist the other way and go up with the weight. All right, so try not to move the whole forearm. That's not this exercise. We just really want to keep that forearm still and flat and just work that hand. All right, so it should be only the hand that is doing any movement, and it should be just that wrist that is bending. That's the only thing that we're moving on this one. All right, so you might want to do 10 going with the palm up, 10 on one side, then on the other, then flip it over and do your 10 in the other direction. All right, so there's lots of variations. They're my top 10 exercises to improve your grip strength and to work through those fingers. So hopefully that's given you a few ideas. Obviously you'll be able to put them in easily throughout your day. I'm sure you can find a little spot somewhere, whether you've just finished your dinner or you're watching TV like we talked about earlier. Then there's lots of little ways that you can do these exercises. If you don't have a weight, there's lots of adaptations that you can do. Just find something heavy that's lying around. Everyone's got something that they can roll up, so hopefully you'll be able to put your hands on something like that, and just wait for you until you have more than one piece of mail, and hopefully you'll find a rubber band around your letters in the letterbox not too far away. So hopefully that's given you a few ideas. Keep working on your grip strength if you can. A couple of exercises each day would really benefit you, so keep on remembering to put them. You might need a little post-it to remember to do your hand exercises, but hopefully you get a lot out of it. Good luck.